Rightio, just doing some paperwork here. Now, seems like we're all working. Welcome to day 4 of the Windworks International Harmonic Slur Challenge. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back doing each day, terrific. I haven't played a note today. Today I'm going to go through a bit of a warm-up. I'm going to show you a bit of a forum. I'm going to fill out half of the practice progress chart. I just remembered something that I didn't do. Anyway, I'll just do it as I go along. And to show you how to fill out the charts, just in case you're not sure. And I'm going to read for you firstly. Now, you'll see here, if you're at the Facebook page, I encourage you to come across at some stage and use the charts at the site. So you need to sign up. In fact, I can even go up here and show you. You need to go across to the register page, which is here. I don't know if this is going to mess everything up. And for some reason, this window took ages. Right, so there's the register page. And that way, you just need to put your email address in. It doesn't cost anything, and it signs you up for the Largo Status stage. So that way, you can use the practice progress charts.
and that's very important for the whole process here. So I want to firstly, we've got an amazing post last night or yesterday on the forum. I just want to open it. It's called Am I the Only Dummy? Now I'm going to approach this. I talk about coffee moments where you know something should work and you can't do it. You can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. But if you stick to the process, the correct process, eventually when you least expect it, you will get results. Now, one of our users here, Bill, professional player, but just having the issues that everyone's having, and he felt like he was alone. Am I the only one having these problems? And what part of the reason that I'm spending my time going live for at least an hour a day, besides having fun playing, is a lot of what we're doing is psychology. And there are a lot of defeated people out there. If you're young, you're a student, you don't know the issues quite often that experienced players will have. And this is just a prime example of some of the issues that people can have. And thankfully, Bill has come out publicly going, I'm having these issues, and I call it a coffee moment, where eventually something that you believe in will actually work. And he's been working on getting the sympathetic oscillation from the lead pipe. And that ties into something from another email that I got from a killer player as well this morning. So I'm going to tie it all in. There are a lot of issues that professional people are having. And you're not alone when you can't, say, get the sympathetic oscillation. So anyway, he's asking about a coffee moment, and there was the reason I've actually written here, I think it's one of the most important threads that you'll find anywhere on any trumpet forum, because one, it's coming from a frustrated professional, and two, the answer from a guy, John, here is just magnificent. He totally gets the process and the psychology. And then there's some really cool answers down below that I would really like you to see. That will explain a lot, if you're new here, what this is all about. And so let's get started. I haven't done any playing yet, so what I want you to do, I'll go down to the practice progress chart, and in fact, here we go. What I was going to do before the lesson, or the stream, was to go through and unclick all of these. But anyway, I'll make it up as we go along. Right, bent finger. By the end of the 5 weeks, you're going to know the process here. All right, bent finger. Eyes closed. Eyes closed, eyes closed, softly and slowly. We're opening up the body's concert hall, work through the Largo Status stage. You will learn all about this. It's the resonance in the body. It's freedom. Then humming a note. Passively humming a note. Here's your lungs. Don't squeeze the balloon. Just get the air in. Relax. And you can try engaging and then let go, and try engaging and let go. That's a great exercise to do. So you're going from active to passive. No squeeze of the balloon, then practice squeezing, then stop squeezing, practice squeezing, so you can find passive. We're going to be using that through the entire challenge, okay? Then once you've got that down, why humming? I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords, and I demonstrate now. I haven't played today, as I said. I'm preset for that low C the whole time. I've taken a breath in, filled the balloon, then I'm humming, So the oscillation of the air column is stimulated here or at the lips, vocal cords, lips. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. Okay, so to get that to happen, we need to get rid of the clamp, get rid of the pinch in the middle of the lips. And the way that we do that is 4 steps. Now there's a series I'm putting out called 60-second virtuoso, or little 60-second snippets, and this is all there. It's all at the Largo stage. Make sure you do it. Then this is really challenging for people to do. Notice the face doesn't change. To get to this point, I use the tissue visualizer. Then, in fact, what I'm going to do, spare me a moment. This is kind of weird, I know, but we're all hanging out in the practice room. I'm going to find the email so I'm exactly spot on about the lead pipe, because I'm about to do that. This is from a guy, I won't say names, but let me just say that he traveled the world in one of the biggest bands at the time, big band, and they were very, 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 very famous. And he's in the trumpet section for that. And again, a lot of the people that I teach are professional players that are having problems. So if you understand that, it's going to make you realize that, like Bill, you're not alone. There are a lot of issues out there. So I want to better understand the theory that the true pitch of a Bach lead pipe, or even this lead pipe, should sound around a concert E flat, C attachment. I know you're familiar with Bill Adam concept, absolutely. Now, for some reason, I don't have the picture here of... No, that's weird. Anyway, so the lead pipe, actually the theory of it, the lead pipe doesn't necessarily speak at the E flat, but it just sort of tops out comfortably. Now, if we go from lead pipe, from the visualizer to mouthpiece, what Bill couldn't get was the sympathetic oscillation. Sympathetic meaning it's happening in response to the change of the air pressure. Synthetic would be gripping the lip down, tightening the lips and pushing the air, which is the way most people play. And it's just fact. All right. We need to work on this freedom of sympathetic oscillation. So you can hear when I'm doing the lead pipe that it resonates because of the length of the pipe around an E flat. Now I haven't got perfect pitch, so let's see where that was. So I was just under. See, I'd prefer the concert D rather than the E flat on the lead pipe, because I can... It feels like the that feels like the E flat is just a fraction high for the... We can lip it up, but I don't feel like it it resonates as easily there as... That's where I feel like I want it to resonate. Okay. Now this is really important for when we're doing the harmonic slurs. If we want to go for a minute, we've got to do it softly. If you want to do harmonic slurs softly for a minute, it's one, working on great breath control, and two, it is backing the pressure right off. The air pressure's got to be back, slow, easy. So we can't be forcing the air. That's the whole point. Stop overblowing. What are the two biggest problems with playing? Pinching the lips down, forcing the air. I meant to say at the start, I'm streaming live, but if you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link below for the registration to be able to use these charts. It's free, so click the link, and you'll also get your free Largo status, so you can get in there and do that. I should have said that right up the front. Anyway, so to get our sympathetic oscillation on the lead pipe, so the theory for my friend, it's just based on the length of the pipe, but I can chromatically go and override the harmonics of that pipe, but it's fake. To go up to, let's find, yeah, the E flat is, and maybe the Bach lead pipes are a different length. The pipe does not want to resonate there, so we can override the harmonic of it. So to be able to do that on the lead pipe it's actually quite a manipulation, and we don't want that in a way, but when you know how to do it properly, you can find the aperture corners for the pitch, and you still actually need to let go of the oscillator. Now I'm about to do something that I've never tried before, is to see if I can get that G, concert F, with a passive breath. I can, but it's really soft. So interesting. And for some reason, I've just thought, if you have a flugelhorn, why did pedal tones just come into my mouth? Try playing pedal tones on flugelhorn. It's almost impossible. Talk about trying to override harmonics of a pipe. Yeah, anyway. So let's get on to, I'm going to do 60. And the way that I want you to approach the chart here, so hang on, let me cut across to the chart. Oh, I'm still getting my head around this. Rightio. So I'm going to do, well, I'll do 66 because I haven't filled any out here. Oh, that actually works quite well because every second. Perfect. So I'm going to show you how to go about doing this. I'm going to do 16ths, but the 16ths might be real tricky for a lot of people. Take it to eighths, take it to quarter notes. I don't care. But we're constantly on the lookout for any negative tension creeping in. Remember, I want it to feel like humming and singing. So I'm going to swap trumpets here. Right. So this exercise can feel like, how hard is it to hum? So remember, we're impacting the air in the pipe. Go back and watch the first couple of days. We're up to day 4, so if it's your first time here, they're all going to be on YouTube. I'm uploading them actually as we speak. So, right, we're impacting the air. There is no blow until we start running out of air, especially softly. So we start off very passive, and eventually we have to become active. Passive, active. And there's a transition from passive to active at some stage. So I'm going to do a couple of breaths to practice. And actually a really cool trick that I learned recently is if you reduce the amount of oxygen in the body, breathing out, then breathing in, almost hyperventilating, so be careful. But if you do that a couple of times, you've lowered the carbon dioxide levels in the body, in the brain. So then when you take a full breath, you're going to be overloaded with oxygen. And that's where hyperventilation comes in, because it's a lowering of the carbon dioxide in the brain. But if you do that, then get a good breath, you can actually play for longer, because it takes longer for the carbon dioxide levels to build up in the brain. So anyhow, I haven't done that yet before. So if I fall over, just call 000 or 911 or something. Here we go. I get a full breath in. I'm going to start on the 2. I should have put the metronome on. I'll get my head around this all eventually. Here we go. I didn't quite make the minute, but it's day 4, and I can already start and feel, because I have not, just so you know, I have not been playing much up. I'm in Queensland now. I've been building this course, so I'm not performing very much. I'm not playing very much. I'm totally dedicated and focused to this. But even in day 4, I can start and feel already the breath control improving, the efficiency getting better. It's really hip. It's really cool. Now I'm going to just jump across and see if there's any questions or comments here. No, not at the moment. Feel free to ask any questions or anything like that. You're more than welcome. Now, whether you're doing quarter notes or whether you're doing half notes, eighth notes or 16ths, it still has to feel like that long tone. So what I do now is go down, and I've already pre-filled, as you saw, the boxes here. So I'm ticking all the way down to 55. So when I come back tomorrow, I can remember, oh, right, I got to 55, but I didn't get to 60. Cool. All right. So a little break, and now we're going to go up to 66. So if it's the first day that you're doing it, this is the way to approach it. You go along and you can either do everyone, as I said in the stream yesterday, it'll take you half an hour to go through and do every single, I think there's 21 tempo markings, I think. It'll take you half an hour. And then every other day after that for the rest of the week, you come back and refer to your chart and go, where did I get up to? And that tells you instantly, I need to come back tomorrow and work on 60 and try and get the minute, because I didn't quite get there. So now I'm going to go up to 66 and I'm going to do the same thing again. So if you've got your instrument and you're there, try it. Now I'm doing 16ths. If it's too fast, do your eighth notes or your quarter notes. But constantly, even when you're running out of air, do you feel anything tight? Do you feel anything pushing, choking, struggling, or is it all nice and open? That's all I'm concerned about. Here we go. I'll start on the 5. That's interesting. I don't know what happened there. My metronome is playing up. Let's go up. I'll reset it and see what happens. I'll need to check that. It's only doing things like this where I can figure out if there's any flaws with anything. It's all pretty new. Here we go. I'll start on the 2. So I will stop there because you heard it not lock. I've got zero tolerance for being inaccurate with this. And you've got to be real tough on yourself, because by the time we get to the end of it, you might be getting all of these and going, yep, got it, and you didn't, and the process will be strained. That's not the best way to go. So we've got to be spot on with the time every time. Here we go. I'll start on the 2 again. Now, I knew at the start of that attempt that I was not going to get to the minute. I didn't get a proper breath, and it was all just really yuck. So anyway, I got to 50 seconds. So I'm going down, as you can see, ticking 50 seconds. So when I come back tomorrow, I will know where I am up to. Structured practice. So you can see that when I was talking another day, I did here and I got up to 55 seconds. I haven't cracked the minute yet. The longest note I've ever played was 1 minute 39 seconds when I used to do a lot of soft long tones. All right, let's go up to 72. So this is clearly an easy tempo for me. When you're at the easier tempos, go as long as you can. And then we're at the quicker tempos, we do 1 beat by 1 beat. So maybe after we do 72, I'll go to the other extreme, and I haven't got 8 beats at 208 yet. I've got 1, 2, and 4. So we'll see what happens today. Yeah, so we'll do that after I do. Let's see how we go with 72. break that 55-second thing at the moment, but I guarantee by the end of the challenge, I'll be all over it. Cool. So we go down 72. Tick, 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 tick. Now the important thing is when you're running out of air, do you... what I got to 50 seconds, didn't I? Does everything start to close off? Does the body become tight? Do we start doing that, or do we just stay open and we can engage all of the air out of the body without going into any kind of closure? It's really important. Why are these so important? If you're new here, we're working on breath control, obviously. When we're doing it softly for a long time, you're backing the air pressure off, so you're not putting the chops under any pressure. And to do harmonic slurs by changing shape and not engaging the body can be really, really challenging. And we're refining how the aperture corners work, and that all ties into efficiency playing all over the horn. Improving range, improving endurance, flexibility. When you can figure out exactly what the aperture corners are doing, I'm not even using the body for that. Then if we engage the body, and that's sort of my bucket. I don't normally play that range on a big mouthpiece. Anyway, but you can see what we're working on here. Rightio, I'm going to go all the way to 208. This is where the fun really begins. So I've got 1 beat, I've got 2 beats, I've actually got 4 beats as well. So I need to tick that, but I'm going to go through each one of them today for you. Let's move this down a bit. Win, win, win. Submit a video from week 1, and you can submit one each week, or one at the start, one at the end. Take a screenshot of your practice progress charts from week 1 to week 5, and whoever improves the most gets a free year of the ultimate level of Windworks, which is $780 for the course for a whole year for free. And then we're giving 2 premium levels away as well, which are 480 or something, 480. So yeah, screenshot. If you're using the paper, turn this off. If you're using the paper progress charts and using a pen, same thing. Fill them out. At the end of week 1, we're going to put them in an envelope and hide them. End of week 2, hide your progress. End of week 3, hide your progress. At the end of week 5, you'll pull out your progress we're up to at the end of week 5, and we'll get our envelopes out from week 1, and you'll see the progression, and you'll feel the profound impact that it has on your playing. You won't know until you're there, and the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, I guarantee it. Rightio, so here we go, 208, I need 1 beat. A great way to prepare for it, and notice there is no blow, the air's behind the tongue, I release. No activation. We don't need to. Here we go. Okay, so I've already ticked the 1 box, but I'd go and tick that. Then we go, can I do 2? Let's try that. So tick that 1, then 4. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I think it might have been a little bit behind. So the secret here is to, when you release the air, that's just a movement of the tongue because there's air in the balloon. It wants to come out. So if you breathe in and relax the body, as soon as you relax the body, our breath is in. As soon as we breathe, as soon as we relax, the body wants to come back to here. Now there's residual air that we squeeze out, right, if we're doing a long one. Expansion, reduction, relax. People don't like the word relax. I'm not falling off the chair, but I'm not engaging any musculature below the neck. It's expansion, reduction. Okay? If the tongue gets in the way, oh, hang on a minute. That's not good. I should plug some power in here. We don't want the computer to go flat. Right, we've taken a breath in. The balloon wants to come back to there. There's more air in the balloon. We've taken a breath in. If I put the tongue in the way, and then all we're doing is impacting the air in the pipe, and as soon as we release the tongue, you've got to click up to the next note. And everyone wants to kick, right? We're preset for the note. This is where ukulele comes in. I'm preset for the note. Then the tongue is the strumming of the string. Don't try and put your finger on the string and strum at the same time. You'd never do that. Yet we try and go at the same time. Preset. Release. Right? Then, soon as you, and clearly can't play guitar, soon as you release, click up. Now, the whole logic of the Windworks Challenge is to go as fast as you can for as long as you can. The only way to do that is to do less work, is to relax more. The 1% rule. Please do get your Largo status. The 1% rule is 1% less work for 1% more sound. It does not take more strength to play faster or for longer. It takes less work. And when you can figure out, what can I do less? What can I do less? What can I do less? That is when you'll start to, no questions, good. That is when you're going to start and really unlock your efficiency. Get rid of negative tension. It's really important. So here we go. We'll cut across to, all right, then we'll go and set metronome. So I've never played it for 8 beats, 16ths at 8 beats. I'm hoping by the end of this challenge I'll be able to. I'll be amazed if I'm not. Logic being, if you can do 1 beat, you can do 2. If you can do 2 beats, you can do 4. If you can do 4 beats, you can do 8. But something falls apart. What falls apart? It's not strength, it's muscle memory, and it's refinement and alignment and balance. Balance of flow, balance of shape, and finding the real refined control of the aperture corners. Once you've got refined aperture corners, that's how you get all over the range of the whole instrument without killing yourself, right? So this is what we're working on. And without all of my banter, you could simply go through, as I said before, and do the entire chart in half an hour, less than half an hour. Especially here when we can only go for 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, or 8 beats. Let's see what happens. Air in, relax. Air's behind the tongue when I stop. pretty close. This after 4 days of doing this is really cool. The zero tolerance for imperfection. Is it spot on each beat? I'd love to do a poll and see if anyone said, yep, you nailed it, or yeah, good one, nice try. Try again. It's just, you can hear on each beat, you can hear the metronome, you can hear the diddly, it's just behind. And as I demonstrated, I could do the 4, but I've never been able to do 8. So this is what we're working on, right? So it's awful. Anyway, I'll come back and try a bit later. So now, let's go back to 80 over here. I'm intrigued what was happening with the metronome at that 66 thing. I might have put a dodgy... The metronome is MP3s, and they're on loop. But what I did when I sent them to my IT guy, I didn't cut them properly. So occasionally you're going to hear... dat, 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 dat. And it's the change of the loop, and I mustn't have cut it right at the right spot for some reason. Either that or the loop takes a little while to work. Anyway, so apologies if that bugs you after a couple of minutes. Here we go. So we're going to do 80, and I'm going to go for as long as I can. You heard that then. Well, I'm not even going to get anywhere near the 60, not even close. It was just such a horrible breath. All right, and I did find that doing that helped, starting on 11. Isn't it funny? I'm just running out at the same time each time. So we're on 80, then I'll go down and click. Now the sound's a bit scratchy, but I'm giving it absolutely no air pressure. I'm trying to hold back as much as I can. Ideally, it would be the most perfect, beautiful trumpet sound you can imagine. And it'll improve the more we do it. So I got to 50. Okay, now let's go up the other end again. Let's do 200. You're more than welcome to ask questions, make comments as we go along. Here we go. So we're at 200. I don't know why that's ticked. I've never done 200 for that long. Here we go. 1 beat. Remember, air in the body. Release, impact the air in the pipe. Imagine it looks like a timpani. When we play a timpani, you pick up the stick. Not that I've ever played a timpani, but I know how it works. You pick up the stick, and it's the rebound off the skin. You don't, like a snare drum, you hit down. On a timpani, it bounces. And it's the rebound back into the mouth. There's a concept that you'll find in the course. Open the lips, let the sound back in. Random concept. Open the lips, let the sound back in. The instrument is a combination of instrument and body. The sound that we hear is the amplification of the resonance of the body. If I've got air caught at my lips, as soon as I open the lips up, the vibration comes back in. Right? It's adding the body to the horn, it's adding the horn to the body. Might be just a random weird concept, but it will stop you from overblowing. Here we go. 1 beat. So there's no problem there. This will be really interesting. I've never figured out how fast how long I can go for at 200. So I think it was there. One of them was a take. 4 beats. So that's cool. Can we get? I mean, why is 192 filled out there? There's no way I did that. Again, I won't give that to myself because it's just behind. It's not there. So if it's not there, it's not there. I could trick myself and, lead myself to believe that it's there, but who am I kidding? Feeding the ego. No ego involved in this. Just observation of what we're all... I actually got sent the Ryan Kaiser video. I will upload that. Man, talk about harmonic slurs. He plays lead. Is it in the Village Vanguard Orchestra? Man, oh man, that's some serious harmonic slurs. Octaves, that's Vizzuti-esque. Just extreme flexibility and technique. It's amazing. Let's go back to 88 now, and I'll see how long I can go for. Again, I could tell at the start of that it was a terrible breath. So that was 88. So I'll give myself 45. Now, what I meant to say, the previous one, when I did the previous attempt, there are a bunch of really awful glitches throughout, and I was giving the eyebrows every time. It was horrible. But I didn't stop because I was just going, can I go for the minute? And I couldn't. Rightio, 192. Feel free to share any comments, ask any questions. Lincoln Center. Why do I keep saying Village Vanguard? Thank you. I mean, they were just out here recently. Yeah, I'm just a bit of a muppet sometimes. Thank you, Alistair. It is. Yeah, I know you mean Winton, not Wonton, but that's really funny. Right, here we go. Radio, 192. So I don't know whether it's because we're streaming that the metronome might be having some issues. Anyway, it's working fine now. Here we go. One beat. 2, 4, 8. Isn't it interesting that I'm landing the 8 beats on the beat, but each beat isn't in control. If it's not in control, we don't tick it. So I'm just going to tick 1, 2, and 4. So there's a theme developing here. Now, why did I stop at 208? Because we could go back to 104. I could do 108 and see if I can get 8 notes in the because I'd like to find that point where I cannot get one beat. Mess around with this for a second. So I go to 104. Oh no, that's 208. So if I go to 108, that's the equivalent of 216. Am I right there? I'm going to have to think about this. It makes mathematical sense to me. I want it to go faster. Anyway, let's go back to 88. See how long we can go for. Are you doing this while you're watching? Or are you just going mad watching me do harmonic slurs? The reserve, so cool. Rightio. So I've got absolutely no idea how long that went for, so I'm not even going to bother about that one. Come back and do it next time. Alright, this time I'll make sure I can see the clock. There we go. Makes life easier. Let's go back to 184. One beat. 2 beats. it's the same. It's exactly the same thing where I can get the 4 beats down, but they're not in time by the time I get to the 8 beats. It just falls apart. Eventually, we'll have the control to be able to do it smack bang in time. That is better aperture control, better flow. I might be just nudging the air a little bit more than I need to. Doesn't matter. Let's do 176, because eventually we're going to find where I can do 8 beats. That'll be interesting. I'm actually really curious to know where that is, because I've got no idea. I haven't done these for a long time. 1 beat. I'm going to be real close on this one. There it is. So there's 8 beats at, what are we at? 184. So that's really cool. That's really cool to know that. So then I think 8 beats will be longer than 5 seconds. Oh, let me check. Hang on a tick. Oh, no, it won't. Not even close. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now to get the next box, I've got to go for 5 seconds. Yeah, nah. Nope. Okay, so cool. There's the lesson right there. If I can do 8 beats, Logic says you can do 16 beats, right? So eventually when I get this chart filled out, all of them, you come back tomorrow and you don't have to go through this whole process again. You just need to find what boxes you haven't ticked and tick them. It's really simple. So in the first, when we start next week, go through in the first day, preferably, or the first, maybe first day, do 60, 66, 72, 80, so on and so forth. Then the following day, do 63, 69, 76, so on and so forth. It's up to you. And then all you got to do for the rest of the week is come back and choose. All right, I might have a crack at that one, I have a crack at this one. So what I want to do now is something interesting. I'll find a tempo. Let's do 120. Will that work? If I go do, yeah, good. When 120. So this will be interesting. It's going to be harder to get to the 55 seconds, and it'll fall apart somewhere. I don't know where. Now, in case you haven't seen, the whole concept of this is based on, and I'll do the research within the next 5 weeks to figure out who it was. I think it was Herbert L. Clark. He learned how to single tongue for a whole minute, crotchet equals 20, 120 beats per minute, single-tongued semiquavers, 16ths, in one breath. How did he develop that? Well, this is my approach to how to develop it. Write down what you can do, figure out what you can't do. So 120, it'll be interesting to see how long I can go for without it falling apart. Because Logic says if you can do 1 beat at 208, you can do a whole minute at 120, but it doesn't work like that. Here we go. Okay, something interesting happening with the metronome when I'm streaming. The joys of technology. Yeah, that's interesting. Might have to use my other metronome if that keeps happening. I'll start on the 12. Okay, so something strange is happening there. So let's get 120. Any thoughts, questions, criticisms, theories? Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh. I've got nothing. Here we go. I'll start on the 12. Terrible start. About 30 seconds, and you just know sometimes, oh no, what have I done? Where are we? 120. You just know sometimes when you haven't got a good breath on. So 120. I'll give myself 30 seconds. Right. $20, $25, $30. Cool. Let's go back to 176 and see what happens. So my aim by the end of the 5 weeks is to basically be able to fly through the minute. I could do a long tone for a minute, but doing the harmonic slur is a bit of a different thing. It's really interesting. And as we start getting up, we finish on the G to the C. It's a different range. There's a whole lot of things creep in as we go up chromatically. So it'll be just interesting to sort that out. Anyway, here we go. I'll see if this metronome's working. 1. 2 beats. 4. Awful. 4. 8. Very doubtful, huh? It's there, but there's just a couple of just it fades. It locks in, then it doesn't lock in, and I really want it to lock in. And of course, when you do something over and over and over, it just gets weird, so you got to put the horn down, come away, come back and do it again. So I'm just going to mark, I don't know, did I get I didn't get the 8 beats, so I'll just mark 4. And that shows the way that it fluctuates. I got 5 seconds at 184. Now at 176 after doing a few, it's not going so well. Let's see. As you can see, I can just click on another button and you click on the tick again and you can get rid of it. 168. Very interesting. So, just for the sake of the exercise, if I didn't have people watching, I would have probably done it a couple of times again. 5 seconds. So there it is, right there. That is the lesson. Cancel. So I can't get 5 seconds there. Then let's go back to 160. So again, there's the lesson. We can go for almost a minute at 60, but I can't get 5 seconds at 160, or 168 I think we just did, yeah. And I can do 4 beats at 208. So it speaks volumes. So let's assume I'm going to be able to get there. So 168, although, oh no, 160. Did I just do 160? I must have. So I got 8 beats, but not 5 seconds. All right, so 152. Did I do it? I can't remember doing it. No, I don't think I did. 160. Here we go. So you can tell that I'm on the brink of getting 5 seconds here. I reckon I'll be able to do it. 160. It's really close. I won't tick it for now, but you can tell that within another couple of attempts, it'll be pretty close. Let's go to 132. And let me just check. I'm going to tick. The single tongue thing at 120, I think, was Claude Gordon. Yeah, Clark did it much quicker. I needed to double check. Yeah, thank you. So it was Claude Gordon. I said in a day, we're talking about the single tongue here. Getting the single tongue. Oh, what am I doing? No, go away. Oh, I see what that is. Okay, cool. So I'm still getting used to this 2-screen thing. I've got a laptop and I've got a TV and doing all this blooming cursor from one screen to the next. Get my head around it. Rightio. So what were we doing? 126. Funny, the breath has just gone. But interestingly, the faster I'm going, the breath is running out more quickly. Consider that. Maybe muscular activity, it's chewing up oxygen faster. Anyway, I got to 30 seconds. So that's good to know. So we're on the downhill here, heading... Right, so that's on a par, yeah, with the 120. Let's go to 152. And just a reminder, you don't need to do this every day. Once you fill the chart out, it's done for the week, and we just add on a little bit. Now have a look at this here, right? Just this angle, right? What's going to happen in the next 4 is really interesting. You know, it falls off really quickly once we get to this area. Rightio. So 150, in fact, no, I'll do it beat by beat here because it's still at a challenging tempo. So that 8 beats there was obviously really comfortable. That's the first time it's been super duper comfortable. Yep, cancel. No. Now, can we get 5 seconds? It'll be there easily. Not easily. So there was one little glitch there. I actually rushed ahead a little bit there, but for the sake of time, can we get 10 seconds? So I'll be able to, but there were glitches in there, so I won't be ticking that. I'll try one more time. Start at 7. That's close, but it's not quite there, so I won't tick it. So I'll undo that one. Hang on, that's 5 seconds. So the next 2 are going to be really interesting because I'm going from can't get 10 seconds to can get 30 seconds. Just saying. Let's do 132. So I suspect this won't be a breath issue more than a aperture refinement issue. So I was just falling off there at about the 20-second mark. So I'll mark that. And then up to 138. I keep forgetting to look at the clock. If there's anything I can teach you now, make sure look at the clock. So again, you can hear through there. I wouldn't normally tick that. There were just a couple of, they just weren't quite in time. So I'm pretty harsh on myself, but you kind of got to be. So I won't click 20, but I got 15. So now have a look at that. That is what we're looking for. That's your progress, not parabola, but what is it? It's a graph. It's a something. This one's an interesting one right here. So I could stop now and then come back tomorrow, and there are a bunch of options that I can fill in here. I just wish it went faster. Anyway, but metronomes generally finish at 208. So let's just see if I can get 176 for 8 beats. Oops. So hopefully this is giving you a great insight into how to, no matter where you're at, how to approach developing the refinement, balance, the coordination without losing. And if you just sort of joined in, this is doing a slow harmonic slur. To get it done with pure process, shape change, and no body engagement can take a long time. And if you haven't done, the Largo status stage goes from the C to the G, then when you get into the Andante and Adagio and Moderato sections of the foundation level, that's when we start getting up to A flat up to middle C. But it's you'll see that once you've got your magnifying glass out to make sure that you're doing it correctly is not as easy as it might seem. So here we go. So I'm after 8 beats at 176. It's kind of there, but I can't tick it because it's just not steady all the way through. That's just about me done. So tomorrow I'll come back and do the other side and just have the chart actually filled out. Next week we start Sunday because it started Sunday this week. I'm going to go through and do it as I would practicing. I'm using this. I've got a really heavy big band gig coming up. I've got one on the 11th and one on the 13th of September. It's at the Brisbane Performing Arts Centre. It's a massive book. And when you're not playing at all, I normally take about 3 days if I've not been playing to get back to full gig fitness. And I know how to manage myself. But this way of doing it daily practice, it's the first time I've done daily practice in since I moved up to Queensland, which is 2.5 years ago, because the amount of time to put this whole course together, as you would understand, is massive. So it's good to be playing again, and this is as much a challenge for me as it is for anyone else out there. And I fully recognise that there are people that can go way faster than I can, and then there are people that are working up to where I'm at, and we just need to be aware of what we are capable of. It's as simple as that. The whole course is designed like that, and I need to keep building on the end of it, but that just will take time and will happen when it's meant to. Anyway, unless there's any questions, go back across here. I'm still getting used to this cursor going between the TV and the laptop. TV, laptop, TV, laptop. Just practice. Repetition. Phil O'Neill. Hello, my friend. I got a missed phone call from you yesterday. We need to talk. Any questions? Any thoughts? If not, we are done, and I will look forward to tomorrow. So tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'll be on doing day 5, and so that, excuse me, today was 10 o'clock. Tomorrow will be 7 o'clock. So it's the morning in Europe and London. So anyway, that's that. And I'll get it off this screen. You don't need to be seeing all that. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think I'm done. Thought for the day. I want to start coming up with just little things, little segments throughout, so you're not just like the way I just leave my iPad charger there. Crikey. Yeah, just little things of interest that we can. Obstacles are what appear when you take your eye off the goal, is number 1. Obstacles are what appear when you take your eye off the goal. So that can be our mantra for the day. What's something else that might be of use? Repetition, the amount of repetitions, even if you can't get, like I referred to at the start of the presentation, getting the sympathetic oscillation. Oh, that's a good way to actually finish up. For people that have just joined, I want you to go up to the top of the WindWorks page here. So this is streaming. Oh, hang on, it stopped. Anyway, that's weird. It should be streaming. Don't know what's going on there. I guess there are some technical things I just need to learn about. I want you to check out this forum post. That's a nice way to finish. Doesn't matter what level of player you are, you can always be improving, and it can be an emotional journey. What page you're saying? That page. There's a link on the WindWorks page. That link just there. And that opens this page. I would love anyone to read it, everyone to read it. It's really important stuff. On that note, I'm going to finish up. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Come down here, stop streaming, stop recording, see you later.